everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is December 21st, a few days until Christmas, and it has been raining cats and dogs here. Today we had a few little bursts of extreme rain, but mostly it's just been kind of just drizzling for a few days, but it's been dark for a few days too. Very unusual for sunny Southern California. But I was looking on my memories of my old Facebook posts, because you get prompted for those every single day, and I noticed that it seems to always rain about this time of year. So this is our first big winter storm. There is some flooding, but not in my area. And I'm kind of wondering, why is there flooding when it's just drizzling? I mean, just really drizzling. But apparently there's some flooding. Anyhow, the rain will let up tonight. And what have I been working on? Well, sometimes I don't feel compelled to make a video because I haven't really been crocheting a lot. And I know some of you might come here for the crochet, and then I feel like I'm just going to let you down because I don't really have a lot of crochet. But one thing that I wanted to do was to get rid of a lot of the little cakes that I had made after, doing a big project. I had just like floppy skeins. I hate floppy skeins. So then I put them into cakes, but then I had just like bags full of cakes. So I said, forget it. I'm going to go through my cakes and make them into blankets. So this one right behind me is one of the ones I did. I'm going to put a picture of it right here. You get a full picture. It would definitely fit on the top of a queen size bed, but doesn't go over the sides. And I will say I got the idea for it from Jada in Stitches, because this is what she says she does with her leftover yarn. And basically use 2 strands of worsted weight and an 8mm hook. And I think she just double crocheted. That's all I did. So this is what it looks like. Looks very variegated. It's very thick. And I've decided I'm going to keep this one, at least for now. I may donate it later, but it's really warm to just lay under, so I'm thinking I'm going to keep it. But in the meantime, I have another one started, and I've actually gone through all of my yarn cakes, the small ones. So I'm actually digging into some of the regular yarn stash just to kind of make it through this last one like this. So I'll tell you, for this one what I did was, okay, first of all, when you do your starting chain, use a whole hook size bigger for your starting chain than what you're actually going to use to make it. So that doesn't mean you go from an 8 to an 8.5. No, you go from an 8 to a 9. So use 9mm to work your chain. And then work, I did 120 stitches across this, so it's pretty wide. So do 2 extra stitches. So or 2 extra chains. I did 122 chains, and then you skip the first 3 when you're working back and go into the 4th one and start your double crochets, and you end up with 120. So that's what I did, and I'm doing 90 rows. So yeah, it's pretty big, and it's wonderfully cushy, and I haven't washed it yet, but oh well. Anyways, so that's what I have been doing for crochet. I need to start on some of these patterns of amigurumi that I purchased. Try to get them out of the way and be faithful that if I'm going to put money down on a pattern that I should actually make that pattern, especially when I'm buying the patterns individually. So yeah, that is my crochet update for the moment. Not a lot going on. But I have been doing a little bit of baking. Now, you saw some cookies in that intro to this video, but those cookies I actually made about 10 years ago when I had a cookie business. And yeah, I don't have any of that equipment anymore. Except I did buy another mixer because I sold off my mixer when I sold off all of my equipment. And I regretted selling the mixer, which was a nice 6-quart KitchenAid, really nice one. And right now I just have like I think a 4.5-quart KitchenAid. But yeah, I have made maybe one batch of decorated cookies in the last 10 years because I was burned out. So this year what I made was my mom's fruitcake recipe. And you know, when you make fruitcake, you want to only make it for people you know love it. So I made 4 loaves. One was for me, and then the 3 others were gifts. And oh my goodness, those little 1-pound containers of the fruit are so expensive now. I mean, 2 years ago I paid, I think it was $6.79 or something on Amazon, and now they're $12.50. So I've got to wait till they come down in price, or I got to find another vendor for them, get that price down, because I would like to make fruitcake every year, but fruitcake can be very expensive to make because of the ingredients are just expensive. So only make it for people you know like it, and I happen to love it. But the recipe that I use, which is my mother's recipe, and she got it from a magazine probably, I don't know, in the 50s, maybe. It's more fruit than cake. It's very, very fruity. So for your non-fruit cake lovers, they would probably love it because it's so fruity. And I have one little thing of fruit left. I may make a video on how to do this fruit cake. It's so easy, but it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Anyhow, that's kind of like what I've been doing, what I've been working on. Oh, but my Julie Andrews rose bloomed. I'll put a picture of that right here. And my tomatoes, it's like in the middle of December. It's December 21st now, and the tomatoes are going crazy outside. I don't know, they must go through like 2 cycles a year or something. I mean, I'm still working on the plant that I planted 1.5 years ago. It's still going strong and producing tomatoes, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But basically, it's been just so quiet here and nothing much going on. Oh, but there is one thing that happened. Was a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, in the early part of this month, 3 doors down, there was a home invasion, and the homeowner shot and killed one of the invaders, and apparently wounded another one who got away. They left their getaway car. I'm thinking maybe the guy who was killed had the keys to the car. I don't know. Sometimes burglars are just incredibly stupid. Apparently they didn't have somebody in the car waiting to get away. But from the news reports, apparently there have been a lot of robberies in our neighborhood and in the town next to us. But then after that, I saw that another news article, because I was wanting to check up and see if they had found the person who was wounded. And the article didn't say specifically that they found him, but they caught a gang that was robbing places. And this was like maybe a week after, and the one guy for sure that they have in jail, they have him on $1 million bond. So he may have been related to the robberies in my neighborhood. But anyhow, to make a long story short, we now have a camera security system on our dwelling places. So yeah, but that was actually a kind of a good prompt for us to get a security system. So it's been kind of fun to see the doorbell cam go off all the time, and kind of not fun because it records anybody that just happens to walk by, whether they're coming to the front door or not. And the same with, if anybody walks by the car, well, the camera goes off and lets you know somebody has walked by the car, and it's just somebody walking their dog. But we have the security. So stay safe out there, because yeah, people are getting a little more crazy these days. Anyhow, I hope you enjoy the introduction to this video. I hope you will have a very Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you next year. Bye-bye.